back to another Realtor Spotlight. This week, our guest is the special Karen Reed. Karen, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
Karen and I have worked together for, I was thinking this morning about this, maybe longer than anybody in my life except family.
Wow.
So we've been together now for some 24 years, maybe?
23.
23. We started in when?
Well, if we started back whenever we had real estate transactions before I was a realtor.
Well, no, real
yeah.
estate started in
Okay.
when?
2000.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, 23 years now.
Mm-hmm.
That's great.
That is great.
So we can talk about real estate all day long, and we can talk about that later. Take me back before real estate. Where are you from? What'd you do?
I am from Bethany, Oklahoma. I previously, whenever I had started real estate, I was in the medical field.
That's it.
That's it.
So where'd you go to high school?
I went to high school at Putnam City.
Putnam City. North, west, east?
Well, that's a long story. I went to Original, then I graduated from West because I met my husband and
So you chose to go to a different school?
my senior year. Yes.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was hard.
No?
No?
Yeah, kind of.
You were all for it. So then you got out
married.
Okay, right out of high school.
4 days later.
You didn't wait.
I didn't wait.
And then you did what?
We lived in Hawaii for 5.5 years. David was in the Navy. And then we moved back here.
Okay.
And I worked in the medical field then and did a couple of different things.
How'd you get in the medical field? I've always wondered that.
Whenever we lived in Hawaii, I worked for a air ambulance company. And so I was a flight coordinator, and we did flights from the smaller islands to Oahu, and then we did some from like Oahu to like the mainland, like California usually was where they flew to. So
was this military related, or was this?
No. It was a private company. Obviously the smaller islands didn't have the medical facilities, and two, like people go on vacation and they like get hurt, they get sick, and so a lot of tourists.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you came back to Oklahoma.
Worked for a cardiologist, then a pulmonologist.
Okay. And then you got into real estate.
No, then we went into the ministry for a couple of years.
Okay. I knew that. I was just taking you to the...
And then got back into the medical field again before I went into real estate.
Okay. So you didn't become a realtor, though.
I was thinking about this as well, knowing that I was going to be talking with you. I had 5 real estate transactions with you, and David had just got on the police department. And we were trying to think of
You were the client.
I was.
You weren't a realtor at the time.
David and I were the clients.
Right.
Yeah, we had 5 real estate transactions together, and David was getting on the police department and was trying to think of a second job he could do. And I think for you were in a position where you were wanting to create a team. That was kind of just a new upcoming thing, and you were like, come join me, come do this. Initially, I was very fearful. You wanted me to be a coordinator, a closing coordinator, and to also get my license so I could sell. And, I was really scared of just being commission only. So you talked about, hey, be our processor, our, closing coordinator. And
do you remember what you got paid?
I don't remember, but I had transactions during that time too, so I was able to still.
You weren't a really?
I got my license in June.
I've been telling that story wrong for years. I didn't know that.
In 2000, and so, but I did probably the closing coordinator maybe 6 months, and had a few, and then we hired somebody else, and I went full time as a buyer specialist.
Right. So you became a buyer's agent. What was that experience like for you?
Well, for me, it was great because one, you provided all the leads.
Right.
I didn't have to market myself. We did some open houses back then, but you had a lot of listings. You had a lot of investors, that were flipping houses. So it was a great setup for me. You know,
Right.
you basically handed me every buyer, and then whatever listings I would get, you would do all the listings.
Right.
So we were a great team.
Yeah, no, it was. We really didn't have any idea what we were doing. I think we just kind of developed systems as we moved
Oh
forward.
yeah,
And
yeah, and tried to learn from other teams.
Right.
We went to Dallas and tried to figure out
That's
what they
right.
were doing, and went up north and
right.
checked out other realtor
So we
offices.
moved out. You moved. I didn't cut you off. I didn't mean to cut you off, but we moved out of buyer's agent. We started our own brokerage.
Mm-hmm.
Karen's a partner, which is great to have her part of the team there. But now you are a full realtor. You buy, sell. What would you say? I looked up your numbers this morning. I know you didn't want to talk about numbers, but I looked up your numbers, and which do you think you do? Do you think you buy more or list more?
Last year and the year before, I believe I had more listings, and I attribute that to just those clients that were buyers years ago. We've created some systems to where
Yeah.
people don't forget, that we sold them houses years ago, and so where I have those clients that are buying up,
Right.
or had kind of been on waiting for the best time to sell. And some, haven't bought yet, but, knew that the market was good and decided to sell then. So, I mean, it's probably half and half still.
It's almost 3-to-1 listings.
More listings than buyers.
Yes.
Huh, okay.
Yeah, which I was surprised to see. When I looked it up, I thought, if I think about you and what you are for real estate, you're somebody that has gone through all of it. You were an assistant, so you weren't in the transaction, but you were.
And I learned a lot.
You
From Mother
developed
Mary.
Yeah, we all did. And
Yeah.
so you did that. You did buyer strict. Now you've done listings, and now you've as part of the ownership responsibilities, there's all more stuff that you've learned and you've trained through. So I can't think somebody that's more informed about the transaction than you are. It kind of dawned on me this morning that you're just not that smart. You're just that experienced.
I do have lots of experience.
Right.
But I love the process.
I didn't mean I was in jest.
No, I know what you meant. But I
Right.
love the process of the transaction. So,
Right.
that's probably what I'm, most passionate about. Not so much about like showing houses or.
You don't like show houses anymore?
Well, no. That was never my favorite part.
Right.
My favorite part's always been just the process,
Right.
the contract, the, informing the client of all of their options,
Right.
and just the process of it. That's what I love,
So
start to finish.
yeah. So you're part of the ownership group. So you have
Vested interest.
you have what?
Have
A vested, yeah,
interest.
absolutely. What do you like about that part of what we do?
Well, I knew you were going to ask me that question, so I was kind of thinking about how I would want to answer that. And, there's a part where I tend to mother people. And so I love that. I love being able to, well, first of all, I was fortunate enough that you did that with me. Your mom did that with me. I had lots of experienced realtors in my life early on that were generous with knowledge and generous with, helping me and making sure I was successful. So I feel like there's a part where even if I wasn't an owner, even if I didn't have, some kind of responsibility, I think I would still feel that way. I would still be excited about teaching somebody the things that someone taught me. And
Even if you weren't paid.
even if I wasn't paid.
So
Yeah.
maybe we can.
Yeah.
Talk
Make sure I
that-
don't get paid.
Yeah.
But no, I really like that part of, being able to help new realtors, try to help them solve, whatever. I mean, the great thing about real estate is it's always something new.
Right.
Like, it's never the same kind of situation. But there's a lot of things that, from experience to be able to help other realtors get through those processes and
Right.
be able to get them closed.
That's great. So I normally ask a question, what's something we don't know about you? And I don't know that you would be forthright. So
I was going to say I was in the ministry.
Oh.
I was ready to answer that one.
you were.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of people don't know
You
that
were?
about me. I was.
All right. I know all about that. So we can my question would be is what makes you happy?
Oh, lots of my family makes me happy.
Right.
Of course, my husband, my kids. But really, I mean, I love seeing other people happy.
Right.
I like to do things that I know we're gonna
I agree. I
make
can see
somebody
that.
smile or encourage them. I mean, that like makes me feel worth.
Sure.
So
So both kids are gone.
yes,
One's in
we're empty
college.
nesters. Uh-huh.
So how has that changed your life? What's different about Karen today as opposed to 10 years ago?
Well, I mean, I probably have more time, but I still try to. We had Darren and Grace over for dinner last night, and we try to go and see Davin and be a part of whatever he's got going on as much as we can. Obviously, with him in Kansas. So, David and I have found more time to talk and hang out. We play Yahtzee every night. That's our new thing right
Just
now.
the two of you.
Just the two of us. We play Yahtzee at least 3 games every night.
Who
I know.
wins?
Well, I keep a record.
And where's that going?
It's about half and half.
Oh, is it half? Who's winning?
No, I don't have a tally like forever, but we keep score each night. So
Oh, I gotcha.
I know we live exciting lives.
Is it like the dice and it's not an app? It's
It's
the
the
real
actual
deal.
dice. Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
got you.
yeah.
You have do you get the sheets that
Oh
tear
yeah.
off?
Oh yeah. Got the sheets.
Okay, great. All right. Everybody, Karen Reed. We'll see you next week.